Good morning, Terra Luna Classic fans. So we have more good news today to cover, right? So I want to go over a few things. First, let's start off with the current price of Terra Luna Classic, okay? We're up 22% on the day. That's good news. Yesterday, if you guys have seen the movement, we were up 40% in the morning. We ended the day up 50-60%, which is huge, right? I mean, we approached the mid-40s, right? I mean, for real, did we see this happening 2-3 weeks ago? Like, this was insane, right? Now we're actually seeing, okay, whoa, we're holding close to 40. We've been at 39 now for about 2 days, right? So this is good stuff, right? So I'm very happy. This is again good. But we need to keep the pressure going, right? So another thing I wanted to cover is the price of USTC. Okay, it also had a run up, right? It's up 14% on the day. Okay, now again, I know that USTC has a bad taste in people's mouth, but we're going to tie it back, okay? So when we look over here, Edward Kim posted a path to recovery for Luna Classic. And essentially what this serves is so everybody in the community can really have like a timeline, a base plan, if you will, of what needs to happen moving forward, right? Okay, so everybody's been talking about the 1.2% burn rate, right? Oh, when is it coming? You know, we've heard September 12th, or September 12th has been the date that we've been told. But according to this here, you know, we're probably looking at it closer to September 20th. We'll get there. See somewhere here, they said it. September 20th. And see right here. And okay, you know, that's going to be a little later than expected, but that's fine. You know, we need to take it. We need to be honest with ourselves. So that's fine. Another thing I wanted to cover is the something that is pretty interesting, right? So I didn't expect this. I didn't know this coming into this, that our community is pretty strong. I mean, in the last 30 days, right, we've incurred 8,000 new wallets every day, right? An average. And that's making us surpass 5 million wallets, okay? And then to put it into perspective exactly, Cardano, a top 10 market cap currency, has approximately 3.5 million wallets, okay? And it's seeing a growth of 2.3 thousand wallets every day, right? An average. We're eclipsing them, okay? Terra Luna Classic as a community is strong, and we are out here, okay? So earlier I covered that the price for USTC has seen some movement, right? And I know that there's a lot of talk in the community on whether or not repegging should really be an option, right? I know that a lot of people got burned. A lot of people, you know, rightfully don't really want to see it. There's high concern. And while if we want to be realistic for the long-term future of Terra Luna Classic, we need to think about utility, right? So right now, we're kind of like a meme token-ish, you know, we're seeing a huge drawn up, mostly due to hype. We haven't really seen the actual deployment of a huge catalyst, right? So if we want to maintain the future, we need to bring in utility, and then that utility is going to bring in the money, and then the innovation is going to come in, and then it's going to flush out our ecosystem, right? So with that being said, the path to repeg is going to be an interesting one, right? So I like Edward Kim's points here, and I think that's good. In my opinion, if we're going to do it, it needs to be, we need to look at it. We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to see what went wrong seriously, and we need to take serious effort, serious positions, and serious work needs to be made to address those issues. So in the long run, we don't see the collapse that we saw happening again. You know, it's good that we're able to justify a second coming, if you will, of Terra Luna Classic, right? From the ashes, being rebuilt into a beautiful, gorgeous phoenix, spreading its wings across the globe, right? But if it happens again, a third time is going to be extraordinarily harder to justify for everybody involved, right? I mean, just being realistic, right? So here we go. The key pillars is that, okay, it needs to be a failure proof to a greater extent than old Terra Classic was. Of course, right? These efforts don't break the Terra Luna Classic community, who will likely fund it. Right, exactly. And that the reserves forestall a death spiral, even if the event of a total failure in the capital control system. Okay, so if you guys didn't know what happened in the, I'm just going to TLDR, right? So a lot of the reserves, Do Kwon was over leveraged on Bitcoin as the prices started to fall. You know, there was a lot of conspiratorial ideas that started to come out. Again, I don't like to cover conspiracy. I like to keep it mostly based on facts. You know, we'll talk about a few things, but here and there, what some opinions are, when some voices are heard, you know, I'm just a catalyst for people's opinions, right? So when we saw what happened, you know, there's a lot of people that talked about it being a potential attack, but at the end of the day, if we left the flanks open and they were attacked, that's on us, right? That is essentially on us. We need to work on that. We need to be honest with ourselves moving forward, okay? So with that being said, so here we have the path of utility, right? It's all detailed here. Again, the 8,000 new wallets. I didn't know this fact. If you guys hadn't heard about that, that's huge. That is really great growth for supposedly a dead token, right? So again, here he details why help. If you can't help, if you could help, why wouldn't you? Of course. And this is all good stuff, right? Like, I'm excited. Another update here on the burn. We saw it stagnate a little bit yesterday. But again, trading volume is going to be up, price is probably going to be up, full disclosure, I hold some Terra Luna Classic. I also bought some USDTC just in case, if people are serious about that peg, why not? Again, not financial advice. That is just what I'm doing. Please don't, do your own research. Don't put your life savings into something like this, but if you can help the community, help the community, be part of this movement. I mean, Terra Luna Classic was one of its kind. An algorithmic stablecoin removes all the centralized power from these big powers, right? It brings it back to the people who use the currency. That is the most democratic process you can have. And it's a first thing in its history where the people who use a currency have a stake in it. They have a voice in it. They have power within it. It's always been relegated to governments. It's always been relegated to the higher ups, the elites, right? Here we have something that was huge. And that was something that fed that conspiracy of like, okay, what if it was a centralized plan attack? Yada, yada, yada. Whether or not that is true, the fact, the movement is there, right? The movement is there. The facts are there. The utility, once it starts coming back, and that's the really big argument for the pegging again, right? Is to bring utility back to the network. And again, there's a split on that. We need to discuss it, right? We need to be honest with ourselves moving forward, and everything just needs to be clear, right? The more information we get out on this, the better, right? So again, if we could just come back to this. So we're probably going to see the burn come in later in September, right? Towards the end, September 20th, this seems to be it. They talked about 3 days earlier, having a proposition out, getting to see, okay, if this is serious, it'll move forward, it gets implemented, right? And then they're talking about, towards the end of this year and the beginning of next year, maybe towards, before, hopefully next summer, talking about repegging the UST to the dollar. And, again, yeah, that will bring a lot of utility back to the ecosystem. They'll bring a lot of venture capital, which is always going to be good for us, right? More money flowing in, more innovation, more projects being developed is always going to be a good thing for our community. Okay, so that was just a quick TLDR. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, if you want me to cover something, let me know in the comment section. Like and subscribe again, please. It always helps out the channel, helps out the algo. Share the video. Again, keep me posted. Keep your thoughts out there. And as always, be safe.